Episode 31, 2018.
Now, I'm not a Western guy, and I'm not really into cowboys. However, my wife was a massive fan of the first one of this game. So when I found out it was coming out, I pre-ordered it for her. I'm not really big on pre-ordering because I don't think you should give money to a company unless they've earned it. This is one of the few exceptions because I needed to get a birthday present for my wife, and unfortunately, this game wasn't going to come out for several months after her birthday. So, for her birthday, she got a card and a receipt from EB Games saying that it was pre-ordered. I spent most of the time with this game just helping out my wife in the combat areas that were a little bit too tense for her. And what struck me as really odd about this game is this is Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1, which was the last game. It's a little bit confusing. In this game, you play as a character called Arthur Morgan, and if you've played the original Red Dead Redemption, you'll notice that Arthur wasn't in the game previously, which kind of gives a big spoiler as to what the end of this game entails. The character that you play in the first game is a occasionally appearing NPC, and at the end of the game, you take over as him in preparation for what would be the beginning of the game that came before this. That's very odd. This game introduced a morality mechanic where if you make certain choices which are honorable or dishonorable, it can affect slightly how the game progresses, but all in all, it still ends the same. Now, I'm not going to try to go too much into the story because I didn't really play a vast majority of the game. I just jumped in and helped the combat, so I can't really talk to that. So I'll get on with the scoring. Starting with the fun factor, now, I'm not into cowboys and the Western theme, but the gameplay was solid and it was fun. The gunplay is an upgraded version of GTA 5's gunplay. The Deadeye mechanic is kind of fun to play around with. Riding around on horses rather than cars is an interesting new mechanic. So I'm going to give this, say 6. Graphics for the time, I'm going to have to give it a 10. Although the style and the theme is not my cup of tea, it was still visually stunning. Now, we played it on the Xbox One, which was impressive enough, but I know if we had have had a 4K TV or a high refresh rate TV or something like that, it probably would have looked better. But I can almost guarantee now, if I purchased it for PC, it would be even prettier. Now, replayability, I'm going to have to score this really low. I didn't want to play a majority of the game because I wasn't interested. So for me to want to go back and play it again, slim to buckus. I'm going to give it a 2. All right, now it's time for the honorable mentions of 2018. Not going to lie, 2018 and the year I turned 30 was actually quite slim pickings for new games. So the honorable mentions are Far Cry 5 and Killing Floor Incursion. Well, that's it for this episode. This year was a little bit of a slow one. So thank you so much for watching and thank you for coming along with me on this journey, and I'll catch you around in the next video. Until then, bye-bye!